Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to see everybody who joins us in Ukraine Media Center Ukraine Forum. My name is Olga Atamanova. Today is day 579 of the full-scale invasion of our homeland by Russian aggressor. And now we will be talking about the preparation to the winter season by Lviv region. Joining us online is Maksym Kozytskyy, the military governor of Lviv region. Good afternoon, Mr. Maksym. Good afternoon. Mr. Maksym, so how is the city and the region preparing to winter? What are the measures already taken and what is still ahead? Well, talking about the preparation to the heating season, I would like to segregate a number of areas. First is the provision of additional power sources for critical infrastructure facilities. I'm talking about the schools and hospitals. Now they're 100% provided with diesel generators, will ensure the electricity running in the schools 24/7, because Lviv region is one of the little number of regions in Ukraine that can afford training our school children offline. And for us, it's important to preserve this format of training in schools even during the winter season. Another aspect is obviously the preparation of boiler rooms to the heating season. Now 90% of 200 to 2,700 boiler rooms are ready for heating season. More than 16,000 tons of coal is already in storages, along with 20,000 tons of timber. Talking about the big distributors, it's about 16 of them in our region. All the boiler rooms are about to start working in a timely manner when time will come to switch the heating on, given the conditions or based on the conditions of the heating season. Also, we need to continue the supply of water to all of our consumers, because we understand that the enemy is going to inflict the strikes on our critical infrastructure facilities. This is why we continue working with the regional water distributors, and we check the possibility of supplying water without or in the absence of electricity. And now we continue inspections in those facilities, as well as the preparation works to deployment of resilience stations where people would be able to get water, food, electricity, recharge their gadgets just in case there will be more strikes on the critical infrastructure facilities which operate in the area of heat supply. We do it in cooperation with the State Emergency Service, and now we are ready to deploy about 900 of such resilience stations. So those are the main points. Also, the work is underway with the social responsible businesses to outfit additional 50 mobile teams to shut down Shahed drones. And until October 15, we will be ready to help our military with equipping 50 such teams capable of downing Shahed drones. Talking about the regional electricity distributors, the works are underway on setting up additional big boards and other physical protection equipment to protect the facilities against drones and missiles. That will give additional protection to the generating and distribution facilities. Mr. Maksym, is it safe to say that all of the hospitals are ready to operate in emergency conditions? they have the generation systems in place to ensure their normal operation 24/7. Well, now we're talking about the main hospitals, so-called cluster hospitals, that carry the most load, their most workload related to provision of emergency medical aid to the population. All of those facilities are equipped with diesel generators. They will be able to continue their operation even in case of disconnection from electricity supply or breakdown of operations of the critical infrastructure facilities such as electricity distribution stations. Well, talking about educational institutions, you mentioned that in Lviv region all of the educational institutions work in offline format or in hybrid format. Yes, that was the task we set in front of our education system, and about 90% of our educational facilities now work either offline and only 10% work in combined mode. Well, and talking about the filling of those educational institutions, are they overfilled with students? Well, it depends on the settlements. Obviously, in the big cities, the educational institutions are really a little bit overfilled, specifically in the big cities like Lviv, Drogobych, and other big cities in the region. But talking about the smaller settlements, you know, the population is decreasing and the classes are underfilled. We have questions on the floor. Valentin Rihal, Ukrinform. Mr. Maksym, what is the situation in Lviv and Lviv region with the mitigation of the latest enemy strikes consequences? What is the situation with reconstruction of the buildings? Well, talking about the last two strikes on Drogobych and Lviv. Yes, we're hearing you. I apologize, I just got disconnected. Well, we're hearing you. Are you hearing us? We can hear you and we can see you. Mr. Maksym, are you hearing us? 1, 2. I apologize, I haven't heard the rest of the question. We can hear you and we can see you. Can you hear us? Yes, I can hear you. Well, the question was about the consequences of the latest enemy strikes. What was the aid provided to the people and what were the decisions taken in relation of the destroyed buildings? Well, talking about the two latest strikes on Lviv and Drogobych, the residential buildings were not affected by those strikes. The strikes were inflicted on the administrative and infrastructural facilities. The fires are completely put out, the debris is being cleared on those commercial facilities. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for joining our broadcast, dear colleagues. I'm reminding you, joining us was Maksym Kozytskyy, the military governor of Lviv region. And at 12:30 we will be talking about the situation in Mykolaiv region. Joining us in line will be Vitaly Kyiv, the military governor of Mykolaiv region. So stay tuned. We want to thank our security and defense forces, and glory to Ukraine.